Just rebroke the daily high. Fucking shit. Everybody hop onto the new. Because we crashed. Welcome everybody. Welcome. There 20 seconds left. 20 seconds left. We rebroke the daily high. We would be active in here in a trade if I would have left my buy stops going. I mean, it looks good on the hourly. It looks good if I would have left it going, but 30-minute no bottom wick. Man. 1 second. Look at this. No top wick here. Hourly, no top wick again. No top wick, no top wick. There's a lot of volume entering the market right now. Let's see. Let's see if those buy stops would have done anything. Hope everybody comes back fast enough. All right, I'm gonna have a sell stop on the rebreak of this low here, of that 9 o'clock low. Yeah, I put my Forex account in drawdown. So I activated the futures ones and then trying to build that one out of drawdown. Fine. Delete, 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 delete. It's not something I can take. Thing's just gonna pump, huh? What up, dude? What are we about to do here, Goldilocks? I think we're definitely getting a trade today. The way this is moving, I think we're getting a setup. Doing well, brother, doing well. Gotcha. If there's something I know, is that when price action is ugly and not giving you any kind of setup, you just stay out. Let's see what sets up here. I don't know about you, but the US just eliminated the COVID vaccine from being mandatory for children. What a motherfucking pump. I'm gonna have a sell stop if we flip bearish here. Possible sells if we get activated here. Alright, we're in here. We're in there. This is a little bit of a risky trade, so I under risked more, a little bit less than normal. The stops are huge. I'm looking at rejection from this zone to come down and attempt for the 4-hour bottom wick. We don't have a bottom wick on the 4-hour. So somewhere from this zone, we should see some sort of flip. And now you just play the waiting game once again. Yeah, this is more a sell off of the zone than anything. Anticipating the daily top wick, 4-hour top wick to come down, money print on the hourly, etc. What a boring session. And now it's a DD simulator. Loading up. Oh damn, I don't have a command for RR. I don't really trade RR, but it depends, right? That would be my hard stop if price decides to fly all the way up there, right? But you got to see what happens when you start going up towards that level. If price starts forming lower lows and lower highs on the way up, then I can look to manage risk at a lower level. Like if we close above this level here and then we start to do this, I can lower my stop loss down. But if we just start to fly up, we could reject at any point and just be liquidity for the continuation down. So I give myself enough room to where my trade could be correct in any of these levels. And my take profit is at the most logical level. So we just rebroke the daily high here. El Rey, what up, big dog? How are you? I'm gonna let this rock. I'm gonna go get a bottle of water. What the Heliante? What the Helion? Pull bacula. Already. Yeah, so RR is all dependent on your strategy. Is it how you trade? Is it part of your plan? If so, then you can use it. But I've realized that giving my trade room to breathe leaves more room for error, allowing me to manage risk aggressively and get out of the trade in profits, adding positions in drawdown and taking an extra entry called the pineapple and coming out break even or what. We understand that for price to drive, it would need to make lower lows and lower highs and lower lows and lower highs. And if eventually it hits a area of interest and you take a second entry at that level of interest, when price gives you that inevitable pullback, eventually you could be potentially break even, small loss, or in profit. Or that's where the reversal will actually happen instead of where I entered. Dropping the price all the way down to break even on the first entry and in profit on the second entry. My RRs are like 5 to 1. 4 to 1. So with my win rate, it comes out all right. Ideally, I want lower stops. And then with more data and more data, basically, I can start looking back and seeing what my average winner stop loss was. Yeah, I'm going to trade right now. I'm going to sell. The 30-minute just closed. 30-minute closed ugly. Give me the pullback already. Or favor. I would say the most important thing is to worry about the strategy, the win-loss ratio, how many wins versus how much money you make, because this game is all relative. I could be using a fucking 3 lot today or 3 micros today and decide to risk my whole account tomorrow and go in with 10 lots. So I could say I made $1,000 in a day when I risked my entire account to make those $1,000 versus if I made it risking only a few $100. You know what I mean? So the money is all relative to your risk. So every single trade, the money can be different depending on how much you risk. So you don't want to follow a trader or learn from somebody because they made a certain amount of money. You want to see, did the strategy make sense and was it a repeatable edge, or did they take 11 losses and then winged one winner that they held until they made back all 11 losses? Like I see some streamers doing that. Personally, I would prefer to be more right, to each their own. Um, but uh, but I don't know. For example, I saw TJR streaming, right? And then he took a loss where Price wicked him out, and then he waited for another setup in the same area where his stop loss was, and he took another buy, and then it wicked him out again, and then he took another buy, and the third one finally ran. Whereas if he would have just lowered his risk a little bit and held through all three stop loss hits until, with a larger stop loss, it would have still played out, and it would have been no losses. But that all depends on how you wanna trade that. Do you want to bank on the trade running long enough for you to make your RR, or do you want to see the trade go into profit, hit a level of interest, and you go break even and close out partials? Yeah, if I had 100 USD in an account, I would only be using zero point zero 0.05 lots, zero point zero 0.01s, risking $5 to $20. $100 accounts are for practice. They're for the love of the game. The two people that I learned from both made $1 million using a negative RR strategy. So I'm gonna go with what I've seen done in real life and what's been working for me versus what I see on YouTube. And that's why I like to live stream, so that you could see it done versus have somebody show you a YouTube video saying this is how I made this today. Yeah, I would say if you only have $100 to your name, you're better off continuing to stay demo and saving up $1,000, or taking $30, buying a cheap evaluation, and grinding that evaluation out for several months until you pass it and save your cash until you're able to save a substantial amount of cash to where you can start a live account with a big amount of cash. And in the meantime, you put little amounts into prop firms or a demo account to get your skills up. You don't want to start off immediately with a shit ton of money either. And you also don't want to be on demo forever. Move my TP to the VWAP. See if we can get a bounce off the VWAP. Don't tell me this shit just froze. I think we're Gucci here. This is a new stream, bro. The last stream was buffering and it wasn't reconnecting and it wasn't reconnecting and it wasn't reconnecting, and I accidentally ended this stream. This is the hourly flip here. Don Julio at the Julio. Hey. You know who I've been missing? Jay. But Jay's been out enjoying life in Spain, having a good time, living life with his family, with his wife, with his baby, living a beautiful, 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 beautiful life. I'm so happy for people like that, bro, that are killing it in life, bro. And those are the people that we get to be around in the Discord. Those are the people that we get to talk to, bro. Get to share ideas with, bounce ideas off of each other. So we're about to have a 15-minute closure. What is this 15-minute gonna do? 15 minutes gonna close bearish. Five minutes also gonna close bearish here. This might get a pullback before the next leg down. If anything, it shouldn't re-break the high before coming back down. I still think this is valid. The hourly money printer flipping off of hitting this hourly level. I mean, that's just extremely clean. ED again. Yeah, just gotta trust the position. That was up like 18 pips. 23 pips. Yeah, I'm 28, planning on it. $15 just closed. It's an ugly 15-minute closure. I'm gonna wait to see what price does here. I don't think it would shoot up continually without giving us a steeper pullback. Maybe re-break the high one more time before coming down. We were in drawdown for like half an hour, and then we were in profit for like 5 minutes, and then back to drawdown. It was up 23 pips, so anybody could have closed, made a little bit of money. But ideally, I wanted a steeper pullback, looking for that 1 hour money printer. 1 hour money printer to start forming some support here before the inevitable continuation. We've driven 200 pips since market open. I would think at least 100 pip pullback, half that maybe. How you doing, Bougie? First day back is always horrible, bro. First day back, you feel like you're the king. Then you're like, ah, shit, I'm actually weaker than I thought. And then you're so sore. And you're like, ah, man, what the hell? You keep that a secret, bro, until you make it. You also have to be diligent about it, right? If you're going to be taking evaluations, you have to have money saved on the side. You can't be blowing all of your money on trading. Yeah, sometimes you find yourself in a situation where you're like, fuck, I ran out of money. I need to go buy another account, or my account, I just blew it. I need to deposit more money, but I don't have any more money. You gotta try your hardest not to fall into that. That's just tough. We've all been there. Ideally, I would like to see a 100 pip 1 minute candle. It's only gotta drop 40 fucking pips. Yeah, Poppy, I'll take you out in a little bit. Stop. All you gotta do is give me a fucking bottom wick on the hourly and drive down 40 pips. That's all I need. Yo, Nate, quick question. How long does it take? My boy just signed up for the clubhouse. He wants to be in the Discord with us, and he just joined. How long does it take for it to connect and for it to work? Look at that wick down, guys. Look at the volume coming in. Either this shit comes all the way back up, or this shit dumps. So it's instant. I'm gonna close full here at 30 pips. And I'm gonna call it a night. That shit's annoying. It'll dump, no doubt. But I'm calling it there. A Tez, you want me to lend you $100? I thought that was my neighbor was talking loud as hell. The money printer. Two minutes, and we calling it. Removing all drawings. The hourly failed to money print. Took a whole hour and it failed. Ideally, I was trying to look for a wick entry at the top, And then by the time they tried to flip, that would have been like 50 pips. But we didn't get any money printer at the top here. See, when I look for an entry, you see how we have the money printer on the hourly, which is possibly setting up if it flips. I start looking at the lower time frame, and if I start seeing that we're possibly forming some resistance, that could be indicating that we're forming the top wick for the hourly before flipping, in which case I can look for an entry somewhere on the hourly top wick, understanding that we have now a higher probability of it forming the money printer, which means that I can now hold all the way until it flips and then start taking profit on the push after it flips. And then I can start taking better positions and more profit. Understanding that I'm looking for that hourly money printer, and if I can get in on the top wick on the hourly, and if it does come all the way down to the hourly flip, I was going to have a sell stop there anyways, so I might as well just hold and continue holding the trade. And if I would have had a sell stop there anyways, if it comes back to my break-even point, that would have been like the other trade going back to break-even anyways. So it's like I'm going to take that entry anyways. I might as well hold for the 50 pips. Yeah, it's going to hit TP here. Well, I'm calling it. I'm going to go eat some food and go to fucking sleep. Have a wonderful night, everybody. I appreciate you guys for showing up. I appreciate the new subscriber. We closed at 27 pips or 26 pips on that trade. 2 break-evens on the last 2. That trade makes back 1/4 of the loss that we took, that we lost on stream last week. We'll be alright. Have a wonderful night, everybody. I appreciate you, Zoom Gang, for showing up. Take it easy.